actually, you would think that I had been the type of person who would have obsessed over the idea of a wedding my whole life, but I actually never thought about what I would ever do or what I would want until I met the person.
That one's going to be easy. I just got to figure out if I win a football game first.
I'm doing the album thing now, which is a big thing.
Yes.
And then I think the wedding is what happens after that, in the scheme of the planning.
You know, every once in a while, a celebrity romance comes along that feels like less gossip and more like a full-blown movie unfolding in real time. And if you thought love stories in Hollywood were predictable, Taylor and Travis are here to completely rewrite the rulebook. I mean, picture it. One of the world's biggest pop icons, the queen of heartbreak and chart-topping anthems, and one of the NFL's most charismatic, record-breaking tight ends, falling in love and planning a wedding that's already the stuff of legend. Seriously, it's like someone said, let's combine a stadium with a fairy tale. And then someone else said, oh, and make it Instagram perfect too. So here's the thing. Taylor Swift has been notoriously private about her personal life, but in the last few months, she's been dropping hints and not so subtle confirmations about what might just be the most talked about wedding of 2026. And trust me, it's going to be huge, figuratively and literally, because when these two start planning something, it's not just an event, it's a spectacle. It all started with a casual yet thrilling revelation during Taylor's appearance on The Graham Norton Show on October 3rd. That was the day her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, dropped, and she was glowing. Amid all the excitement about music and promotion, she casually teased that wedding planning was on the horizon. I'm just doing the album thing now, which is a big thing, she said. But then with just a little sparkle in her eyes, she added, and then I think the wedding is what happens after that in the scheme of the planning. But I'm so excited about it.
I'm doing the album thing now, which is a big thing.
Yes.
And then I think the wedding is what happens after that, in the scheme of the planning. You know, I'm so excited about it.
I mean, come on. Taylor Swift casually discussing her wedding plans like she's talking about her next Spotify playlist. It's simultaneously adorable and jaw-dropping. And the Instagram post that followed? Legendary. Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married, she captioned, alongside photos that radiated surprise, romance, and frankly, a little bit of awe. And can you blame us for being in awe? The proposal itself sounds like something straight out of a rom-com. According to Taylor, right after recording her debut on Travis's New Heights podcast in August, he had an entire garden built out behind his house just for the proposal. She described it as 10 out of 10. Honestly, if there's a world record for most over-the-top but perfectly romantic proposal, this would probably break it.
Walking around sort of nervous about the podcast, he's like, my heart is racing. I know how much this means to you. Like, really want this to be what you hoped it would be, because we've been talking about doing the podcast and announcing the album.
Yeah.
And he's like, my heart's racing. And I've never seen this dude nervous.
But what's even more fascinating is Taylor's admission that she never really thought about weddings before meeting Travis. On the UK's Heart Radio in October 2025, she explained that despite all the songs she's written about love, heartbreak, and fairy tale romances, she never had obsessed over what her wedding would look like. You would think that I had been the type of person who would have obsessed over the idea of a wedding my whole life, she said, but I actually never thought about what I would ever do or what I would want until I met the person.
Actually, you would think that I had been the type of person who would have obsessed over the idea of a wedding my whole life, but I actually never thought about what I would ever do or what I would want until I met the person. Like, it's like then, so I haven't actually even thought about that.
And that, my friends, is a level of romantic revelation that honestly makes you believe in destiny just a little bit more. Travis Kelce, on the other hand, seems to be handling wedding planning with his characteristic mix of charm and pragmatism. On his New Heights podcast, when asked by Jimmy Fallon whether he and Taylor would choose a DJ or a band for their reception, he didn't hesitate. I think we're live music kind of people. And then with a grin, he added, that one's going to be easy. I just got to figure out winning football games first.
You got to do DJ or band? Are you thinking about all this stuff?
Yeah, I think we're live music kind of people, you know? So,
I've seen you perform. You have to.
That one's going to be easy. I just got to figure out if I win a football game first.
Which, if we're being honest, makes perfect sense. Travis has clearly mastered prioritizing, and when your future wife is Taylor Swift, somehow even football game seems less stressful than wedding planning. Taylor also hinted that it will be a destination wedding, though she hasn't revealed where. That little nugget alone has sparked a wildfire of speculation. Are we talking a sun-soaked tropical island, a historic European castle, or maybe a secluded cliffside resort with sweeping ocean views? Knowing Taylor, it will be somewhere both breathtaking and totally private, a place that feels like it belongs exclusively to her and Travis, at least for the weekend. And of course, when it comes to music at the wedding, you can bet it's going to be epic. Taylor teased that Ed Sheeran will probably be performing, joking about how hard it would be to keep him off the stage. "That's the fun thing about our friendship," she said. "We both love performing, and we love writing, and we love singing." Can you imagine Ed Sheeran serenading Taylor and Travis while they exchange vows? Honestly, the mental image alone is giving me chills. And if you think that's the only performance we might see, think again. Taylor Swift and live music go together like peanut butter and jelly. Don't be surprised if surprise appearances happen all night long. And here's a fun one, the guest list. Unlike many celebrity weddings, which are often exclusive, tiny, and painfully curated, Taylor's wedding is going to be massive. During her Graham Norton appearance, she mentioned that the wedding will be huge and that she's not going to stress over trimming the list. In her words, "The only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small amount and people are on the bubble. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be fun."
I know it's going to be fun to plan because I think the only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small amount and people are on the bubble. You have to evaluate or assess your relationship with them to see if they should be there. I'm not going to do that.
Imagine hundreds of guests, friends, family, perhaps even some surprise celebrities, basically an A-list gathering of everyone who has been part of Taylor and Travis's lives. Now things get even juicier when we talk about the actual wedding location. According to some insider sources, Taylor has her sights set on an exclusive venue in Rhode Island, the Breakers in Newport. This 70-room mansion, originally built by Cornelius Vanderbilt II, is valued at $500 million and is just 40 miles from Taylor's holiday home, High Watch in Westerly. But here's the kicker. Another couple had booked the same date, June 13, 2026. Instead of changing her plans, Taylor reportedly offered to pay for their entire wedding and honeymoon, over $150,000, just so she and Travis could have the venue. I mean, that's audacious, generous, and very Taylor Swift, all at the same time.
One of my friends' friends is getting married at in Rhode Island on June 13th, 2026. The venue called her and said someone is willing to buy you out of your date. She said, "No, I don't want to switch my date." They called her back and said they're willing to pay for her entire wedding and honeymoon to have this date. So they said yes and think it might be Taylor Swift.
And let's be honest, can you even picture Taylor politely negotiating with a couple like that? She probably did it with the charm and poise of someone who knows exactly what she wants. Of course, the Rhode Island speculation isn't entirely confirmed. Some reports say the couple may have chosen the Ocean House Hotel instead, closer to Taylor's mansion. But both venues have denied any official confirmation, which naturally only makes fans even more eager to speculate. After all, with a couple this high profile, secrecy just adds fuel to the fire. And we all love a little mystery when it comes to celebrity weddings. Then there's Travis, who seems to approach the whole thing with a combination of humor and confidence. On his podcast, when asked about wedding planning, he joked, "That one's going to be easy. I just got to figure out how to win a football game first." Honestly, there's something endearing about that. It's like he knows the wedding will be incredible. After all, he's planning it with Taylor Swift, so the real challenge lies elsewhere, catching footballs under pressure. And that, in itself, gives you a little insight into the dynamic between these two. Taylor brings the vision, the drama, the sparkle, and Travis brings the steady, playful pragmatism. And speaking of the dynamic, can we take a moment to imagine the planning process itself? You know, Taylor and Travis sitting at a table covered with mood boards, flower arrangements, and cake samples, laughing about whether a band or a DJ fits the vibe, debating whether to have more guests or fewer, secretly plotting surprise performances by friends like Ed Sheeran, and probably arguing over the logistics of a private helicopter entrance. I mean, if Taylor's albums are any indication, this wedding will have plot twists, emotional highs, and unforgettable moments worthy of a full-length narrative. And let's not forget the timing. Taylor is currently focusing on the life of a showgirl, which is already breaking records, topping charts, and reminding everyone why she is the undisputed queen of music. But even amid the whirlwind of music promotion, she's clearly thinking ahead, dreaming about a wedding that's both intimate and grandiose, private yet unforgettable. And Travis? He's balancing NFL games, podcast appearances, and, if the rumors are to be believed, helping to negotiate venue dates with the kind of calm authority that suggests he's no stranger to high-pressure situations. And while we're on speculation, let's talk themes. Will it be classic elegance with white roses and crystal chandeliers, or something more whimsical, with boho chic details and twinkling lights? Knowing Taylor's love for storytelling, expect the wedding to be carefully curated to reflect not just their personalities, but their shared journey. Maybe there will be musical nods hidden in the decor, secret references to inside jokes, or even a subtle homage to past hits and life milestones. Plus, there's the whole celebrity factor. You can bet A-list friends and collaborators will want to be there, not just as guests, but maybe even as surprise performers or speakers. Imagine an intimate toast from Ed Sheeran, interspersed with moments of Taylor belting out a song she wrote just for the occasion. And then, picture Travis's teammates showing up, maybe even getting involved in the choreography for a wedding reception performance. The energy will be electric. But perhaps the most compelling aspect of this impending wedding is how it represents a genuine partnership. Taylor has admitted she never thought about marriage until she met Travis, and he has described the planning process as easy compared to other challenges. This is a couple who seems deeply aligned, who understand each other's worlds, and who are genuinely excited to celebrate their love in a way that feels authentic to them. And in a world where celebrity relationships often implode under the weight of public scrutiny, that's refreshing. And while we wait for more official details, we can imagine all the little things that make this wedding unforgettable. Personalized invitations, custom-designed gowns, luxury accommodations for guests, private performances by friends. The possibilities are endless, and honestly, the speculation is half the fun. Fans are already theorizing about everything from flower arrangements to the exact shade of Taylor's wedding dress. Some say she'll wear a dress that's entirely custom, maybe even inspired by her own music, with subtle nods to her albums woven into the design. Others predict a dramatic entrance, perhaps on a private pathway lit with lanterns or twinkling lights, that sets the tone for an unforgettable evening. And of course, the proposal itself sets the bar impossibly high. Travis didn't just get down on one knee, he built a garden, orchestrated the moment after a podcast, and clearly created an experience that Taylor will remember forever. So the wedding? It has to match that level of creativity, surprise, and emotional resonance. Expect unexpected details, breathtaking scenery, and a celebration that's part fairy tale, part spectacle, and all Taylor and Travis. Ultimately, this wedding isn't just about two people tying the knot. It's about storytelling, legacy, and moments that will be remembered long after the music stops and the last touchdown is scored. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are taking everything they've learned in their respective worlds, music, fame, sports, showmanship, and combining it into something unique. And honestly, we are all here for it. So while we wait, the speculation will continue. The rumors will swirl and fans will imagine every little detail from the flowers to the guest list to the possible surprise performances. But one thing is for certain, this wedding is going to be iconic. It'll have love, music, laughter, and a fair bit of drama, the good kind, and it will mark the beginning of the next chapter in the most talked about celebrity romance of the decade. And if we've learned anything from Taylor Swift's career, it's that when she sets her mind to something, whether it's an album, a tour, or yes, a wedding, it will be unforgettable, meticulously curated, and nothing short of magical. So buckle up. Keep your binoculars ready, your ears tuned for announcements, and maybe brush up on your Taylor Swift lyrics, because the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding, it's coming, and it's going to be a spectacle we'll talk about for years. A celebration of love, music, and athletic prowess. A reminder that sometimes the ultimate fairy tale is the one that's being written right in front of us. And one thing's for sure, we can all try to predict the details, speculate about the venue, and guess who's performing, but in the end, the only thing that really matters is this: two people who clearly adore each other, ready to take the next step and giving the rest of us the privilege of watching the magic unfold.